Hello everyone, my name is Radio Mike and this is the Inside of My Mind, and today I want to talk all about the new Galarian Form Pokemon that were just announced for Pokemon Sword and Shield. Well, let's get straight into it. Okay, so back in the last generation of Pokemon Sun and Moon versions, we got the first look at these new Alolan Forms, or regional variants of Pokemon that already existed in the past. Basically, the idea behind this is akin to actual real-world evolution, where Pokemon developed and evolved differently to adapt to the different circumstances around them in different locations in the Pokemon world. I actually really like this idea because it gives some new lore to the Pokemon worlds and makes them feel a little bit more real. For example, the Pokemon website's entry on Alolan Meowth explains that Meowth is a Pokemon that did not originally live in the Alola region. They were sent to the royal line as an offering from another region. It's said that the Meowth that were offered to the royal family lived a life of luxury and pampering, which led to them having a selfish and prideful attitude, and this caused Meowth's form to change. All of the Alolan Forms drew from original Generation 1 Kanto Pokemon, and some of them were really cool. For example, Sandshrew and Sandslash became Ice Steel type, as well as Vulpix going from Fire to Ice type, and Ninetales gaining a Fairy typing. But as the reveals continued, I ended up being really disappointed by forms like Diglett and Dugtrio's Ground and Steel typing, with some weird surfer hair on them, as well as Geodude, Graveler, and Golem's electric type as opposed to ground, which just looked really weird in my opinion. But in the most recent trailer for Pokemon Sword and Shield, we've gotten our first look at some of the Galarian forms for the new region Galar, which is based on Great Britain and the UK. The first one we got was Weezing, who, to be honest, is actually one of my favourite Pokemon. I just think it's really cool that they're just this weird balls of clouded, murky gas. So the Alolan Weezing gains the Fairy typing on top of its existing Poison typing, and definitely fits in with the more industrial kind of steampunk look of the new Pokemon region Galar. Both of the main heads now have chimneys spurting out smoke on top of them, which is a really cool design, and I also like the grey recoloring and the green gas. The smoke on its face seems to resemble moustaches and facial hair as well as eyebrows on the smaller one, and I just think this design as a whole is really cool. It certainly doesn't scream Fairy typing to me. I would have picked more of a Steel typing if anything, but that being said, I think Weezing having a Fairy typing on top of its already Poison typing could be really cool. And on to the second Galarian form we revealed, which is possibly one of the most interesting, is Zigzagoon and Linoone from the Hoenn region. Not only are these the only non-Gen 1 regional variants we've had, but there's also one more thing about these that is really interesting, and I'll get to that in a sec. So Zigzagoon was the early rodent Pokemon in Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire versions and all of the Generation 3 games. Basically that generation's Rattata and based on a raccoon. But the Galarian form of Zigzagoon and its evolution Linoone seem to have almost badger-like qualities to them. They also gain the Dark type as a primary type, and the normal typing ends up as its secondary typing. I've never really been a fan of the normal type as a secondary typing at all. I always just felt like normal should just be a solo type unless it's paired with flying. I never really liked it paired with anything else, and I don't get what the difference is between a dark normal Pokemon and a plain dark Pokemon, but whatever. I really like this redesign of Zigzagoon and Linoone. They obviously both look a bit mischievous and definitely have some darker qualities to them, and I think that's really cool. But the key point of interest for both Zigzagoon and Linoone's Galarian form is that they introduce a new evolution that is exclusive to Galarian Linoone, and that is Obstagoon, and this is something that we've never seen before. None of the Alolan forms from Pokemon Sun and Moon added new evolutions for the existing Pokemon. Some Pokemon did evolve only into Alolan forms. For example, Execute and Cubone didn't have Alolan forms, but they evolved into both Alolan Exeggutor and Alolan Marowak. But we never got a specific exclusive evolution. Plus, it's the first time in a long time, other than Sylveon, that we've had a standard cross-generational evolution, which seemed to go sort of by the wayside when Mega Evolutions were introduced. It definitely reminds me a little bit of Mightyena mixed with Lycanroc. It also leads me to think that maybe Weezing will also get a third evolution in its Galarian form, and I'd also like to see if Koffing gets a Galarian form with a similar design to the Galarian Weezing. I think it's about time a bunch of Pokemon from Generation 1 got evolutions, and if Galarian forms are the way to do that, then that's fine by me. If Weezing gets a Galarian form, then I would be really keen to see a Galarian Ekans and Arbok, but maybe that's for another video. In the meantime, let me know what you think of the Galarian forms of Weezing, Zigzagoon, and Linoone, as well as the new evolution of Linoone, Obstagoon. What other Galarian forms would you like to see? Do you want to see more from Generation 1, or do you want to see them spread out from all the generations of Pokemon? And what Pokemon would you like to see evolve in a Galarian form like Linoone? Let me know in the comments below, leave the video a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel for more videos on gaming, as well as all episodes of my podcast 20th Century Boy, which comes out weekly and is all about pop culture, games, music, movies, TV shows, and hanging out with a bunch of my friends. I'd love for you to give it a listen. It's also available on iTunes and Spotify. Thanks again for checking out my videos. All I'd like to say is that my name is Radio Mike, and this has been The Inside of My Mind. See you later.